Alrighty, guys. So today's class, like I said before, is going to be on Facebook paid ads. Command recently had an update on the new on the paid ads section. So that section of the platform looks completely different. We'll cover all of the changes. I'll even show you what you need to do to connect your Facebook business page to Command. There are a couple steps that you're going to have to do there, and then I'll show you some ideas that you can download from the Design Center and how you can use that towards your marketing as well. So let's go ahead and log in at agent.kw.com here for Command. I'm going to turn my camera off just so my video is not in the recording, but you can still hear me, hopefully. Alrighty. So again, homepage of Command. If we go through the outline that I just sent you guys, the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to go to the design applet. And there are some examples there of what sections I recommend. You can go under social posts and download specific graphics for lead generation, for listings and or buyers. They have a couple different options there for open houses and for things like that. So if you guys don't have those notes, let me know. They're in the chat. Hopefully you can open up that Google Sheet and it should look like this. So again, when you're downloading those graphics, and I'll show you when you're downloading them, how they look, you're going to want to download PNG when it comes to these ads. It just works best with the online digital part of that. All right, so going back to Command, we're going to click on your name here. Mine's going to default to the team that I have for the office, but you're going to be under your personal account. You're going to click on your name and you're going to go to settings. And under here, under applications, you're going to have all the things you can connect. So on the notes here, I highlighted the Facebook posts scheduling. So you can schedule your posts weeks out. So it looks like you're scheduling or posting posts every day, but the system's doing it for you. So again, for these type of posts, for the post scheduling is where you would download images or graphics for your posts to kind of schedule them ahead. And through the Design Center. And then, of course, once you connect Facebook, if your Facebook is connected to an Instagram, it'll connect your Instagram posting as well. Basically, if I click on Manage here, it's basically going to show you my Facebook account. So there's no way to connect Instagram directly to this. You're going to connect your Facebook business page to Instagram, and that will connect your Instagram. And then we're going to keep scrolling here. And here is the new section of the ad manager for Facebook. Twitter is no longer an option when it comes to scheduling posts. So when you click here under paid ad settings, it'll take you to that new section of the ad campaign where you can then connect your pages. So this is what it's going to look like. But before I move forward under Facebook pages, you can see that I have our office page linked here, but I am going to show you what you need to do to link your page to Command. But there are a couple different steps that we're going to have to complete in Facebook, which is what we're going to do now. Before we even get in there, Facebook is very confusing. When they became Meta, if you had a business page and it was grandfathered in, you had an old platform. It was grandfathered into the way that it looked. Now, when you have a Facebook page, and most of you hopefully know what I'm talking about, you can literally click here on your name or your picture, and it'll show you that you have another profile for that page. Some people, depending on the age of your page, will have to go here under See More and go to Pages. Where is it? Under Pages, and that's how you would get to your specific page. Well, now for you to use the ad feature, you have to either create a new page or try to upgrade your page to the new platform, just because it will not work for paid ads because it's a Meta thing. You have to have the page profile in a sense to be able to complete this. So again, I'm going to go here under my page that I'm using for today's example. You're more than welcome to create a page. I know some people freak out about creating new pages, but the problem is you're not using the page specifically from a like perspective or what you're posting on your page. Your page is just an avenue to get your ad out. because you still get to choose where the person ends up once they click on your ad. So your page is important, but it's not going to make or break your ad, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on the Tampa Central page here, and it's going to change my profile. And now you'll see that if I click home, I'm under this actual Tampa Central page. Well, here's the deal. Here's where a couple things we're going to have to do. First, if the page you're going to be using for your Facebook business page to connect to Command, you need to make sure that you're the admin under that page. So you click on Professional Dashboard, and then it'll give you a couple more options here when it comes to your page settings. We're going to want to look at page access. So for instance, if I click on page access for the Tampa Central page, you'll see here that I'm listed as an admin with complete access, right? All these permissions for this specific page. This is step one of being able to connect your page to Command. So what you're going to want to do here is, if you're not listed here for one reason or another, I've seen a couple of different accounts where the agent had someone doing something for them or managing their pages and they're not listed here. There was an update. So just going to click here and add whoever it is managing your page or whoever you're connecting it to. So in this case, if you weren't listed here, you would search for yourself or for whoever it is that you're searching. I'm trying to think of someone. I think Dallas is already an admin, so he won't pop up for me, but let me think of someone. So if I wanted to add Jenny Hall, for instance, to our page, she may not even come up here, oh, here she is. So if I wanted to add Jenny Hall, one of our coaches, to be an admin on our page, I would click on her name here, give her complete access, and then she'd be an admin on the page. So once I refresh my page, I would see her listed here. So that's step number one. Okay. So now we're going to go back to the home page. And step number two, when Facebook became Meta, they created the business suite. So now your Facebook business page has to be connected to a business Meta account. Super confusing, I know. So if you need to schedule an appointment with me, schedule so we can look at your specific account and get this part taken care of. But step number two is going to be to click on Meta Business Suite. And that's going to take you to the Meta side of Facebook, Meta Business Suite. So now when you click here on this drop down, it's going to give you a couple different things. As you can see, I have a couple different business accounts. So business account number one here is where is the one that I'm currently using, but you can see here that I have a couple other business accounts on here. I can no longer create business accounts just because I've reached my limit. But if you have no business accounts, you're going to have to create your business account, call it whatever you want. And then it'll take you to this inside of the business account, which is going to look like this. I'm going to click on this gear here, and hopefully it'll take me there. So now here is my Facebook Meta business account. So here you can see that I'm active here, right? I have full control. So you want to make sure you're listed here under people. If you're not listed here, nor can you see the business account that's associated with your page, under that business access or page access, you'll see what business account is connected. You'd have to have someone else who is connected to your page, and you should know who those folks are, add you to that page. So for example, the person, when I went to update my settings, I had to have Marta log into her Facebook, go to this page, and invite me to be an admin on this page. Hope that makes sense. Once you've created your Meta business account, you've made sure that you have full access here. You see how this person says partial access? This person, in theory, would not be allowed to connect their Facebook to their command because it says partial access. It has to say full control everything for you to be able to connect your Facebook to it. All right. So we've created our business account. We've made sure that we have full access here. Now under pages, we see here that I have the Tampa Central business page as an asset. If you don't see your page here, you would click add page to add your asset, and you would claim the page. And then you would just search for the URL of that page by just opening up a new tab to Facebook, right? You'd go to your business page. Here's the business page. You'd copy this URL and you'd put it here, and you see how it pops up. I'd select that page. It's going to tell me I already have it, but then you would just next confirm, And whoever else in this example, Marta, would then send me that invite, I would accept. And then ideally what you want to happen is you want to see your Meta Business account with one business asset being that one business page. So step number one is making sure that you're listed as an admin under the page. Step number two is making sure you have a business account under Meta and that you've added your asset, which should be your page. If your page is not coming up here and you can't get that to work, then you may need to create a new page just for your ads. But again, it's not the end of the world because it's just a connection for you to run your ads. Hopefully I didn't confuse you guys too much, but those are the Facebook settings that you're going to need to connect your Facebook to Command. All right. So once you do that, we're going to go back into Command. And I have that page already linked here. I can view the details here. It tells me all of my stuff here, right? But if I wanted to go back under Facebook pages, it would look like this, right? Start here to connect your page. I'm going to click connect with Facebook. It's going to say, are you Eric Gonzalez? Because I'm logged in already. Reconnect. Got it. Hopefully I don't mess anything up just because I'm already connected. And it's going to give you the option of connecting the page. So you're going to go here and you're going to connect. I'm not going to actually click on it because my page is already connected. But once you do that, if you verify that you are the admin on their page access and you've created your Meta Business account, you should have no issues with connecting this part here. If you do have issues, again, book an appointment with me, get on my calendar, and we'll get that taken care of for you. So hopefully, yep, it's still connected. So I'm not going to mess with any of that. So before I move on, I know that that was a lot, but did you guys have any questions about what I just did in Facebook and how I connected my Facebook account? No questions? Cool. All right, so now moving here on our graphic, we have talked about connecting our pages. Now we're going to actually go back to the graphic part here. I want to show you guys a couple of different things in Command. So I'm going to go back to campaigns. I've already made sure that my page is connected. I'm going to click on my KW here on the left-hand side, and I'm going to click on designs. So here under designs, I've created a couple different things. This is where you're going to see all the designs that you have worked with recently. You can delete these if you need to, but we're going to click on create design to kind of have some different options for scheduling posts and or paid ads. So I'm actually going to click on social posts. And I can click import photos and text from listing. This option will work for social posts and print. What that means is it's going to bring in photos from MLS and property descriptions for you guys to be able to use that for that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click that, even though I'm not going to use it, but I'm going to hit next. And it's going to want me to select the listing. I don't have any active listings, but let's see if I can just find something in our building. Um, 3602. Let's see here. All listings. Again, it doesn't matter which property you select, just because I said, hey, I want to import photos over, it's going to have me select this. Let me see here if I just put in. I wanted to get our building, but it's not popping up. Again, you would have an MLS number or an actual property address. I was not ready to have one on our building. Let me see if I can find one real quick. Bear with me, guys. All right, I think I found one here. Let's see here if this one will pop up for me. Just trying to find the MLS number. Let's see here. think I found the unit that's for sale. 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Taking a little bit to load here. Hopefully it'll find this actual MLS number just because I found one. There we go. So I'm just going to select this one as an example and take my way over to designs. Again, all that's going to do is bring in the photos and any verbiage from the MLS over to these pieces here. Again, I listed a couple of different examples on the sheet there. So you have some examples that under buyer or lead gen or listing. So if you go under either one of those categories, let's go under buyer. And if we just go to like a neighborhood snap and we click up here under square, you can use any one of these to either use it as an ad or anything like that. So for instance, that's the buyer one. If we go to lead gen and just say I heart KW or even inspiration, you can use either one of these because these tend to be in a square. The reason I'm saying use square is because the ad is going to need a square photo for that to happen. All right, we also have a holiday that you can use. So if we go down to December, you can use the square up here. And again, it's not going to import any photos from the MLS here, but if you were to use under listing, and if you go down to open house, on one of these pieces under square, you could import the photos and or property descriptions to these pieces. That's all that means. But just for the sake of time, I'm going to go down under holiday. I'm going to go down to December. And I'm going to do square. And I'm going to pick one of these pieces. So holiday season, this one's great. Seems pretty neutral for me and inclusive. So that we're going to just do a quick update here, and I'm going to show you what you guys would do in order to use this for a scheduled post or even for an ad if you really wanted to. You're going to want to add your information on here, maybe your photo if you want, but let's change the DBA logo here. So once this loads for me, I have them preloaded into my assets, but you guys, if you guys need me to help you do this, I can help you as well. I'm going to go ahead and select this. The KW is bad, so I'm going to go ahead and add a logo there. Let's see here, KW logos. I'm going to do black and white just because the background is red. Update file. There we go. So now I'm going to select that one, refresh here. Now I have a black logo there. I can make it a little bigger if I want. We do have an all white one too that I would recommend using instead of this one, but here's that. You can add your photo if you have it here under my assets, for instance, right? If you wanted to include your photo in the piece and you wanted to put like your cell phone number or your email, whatever, what have you, you can do that here in the corner by adding a text box with your information. So now that let's say we've tweaked this piece completely and you want to use it for a scheduled post, you're going to go up here under the download button. And under not PDF, we're going to go to PNG. It's the best, it's the high quality image that'll work for social media and for online. So we're going to go to PNG, high res, right, as high as possible, and we're going to click download. That's going to save it on my computer. And now I'm going to save it on my desktop and we'll come back to it. You just make sure I put the date there so I know what I'm looking for. Today's the 11th or the 12th. Perfect. I've saved that. And now I'm actually going to save it here under my work as well. I'm going to save it. Okay, no worries. All right, so here you have, we've downloaded our piece and now the piece that we did it here as well. So the other thing you're going to do here is going to be, now that we've created our piece, you can do that for all those examples that we talked about, open house, download my agent app, all that good stuff. But now we're going to go back to campaigns. Under campaigns, you're going to see that you have social posts. Here is where I would schedule those posts out and use that piece as an example. So I can go here if I want to schedule it for Friday the 15th, click on that. And this is where I would upload that image, right? See here, so I would put in here, I'm gonna just put test. And today's date. Okay. And then here's where you're scheduling your post. And here is where you have what page it's going to. And up here it tells you as well. We're going to include our logo and include ownership statement. And then you would upload your piece here. Let's see here. Upload your media piece here. So now I'm going to browse for that piece that I saved, right? You can even browse your designs, but I'm going to browse it because I saved it as a PNG. So if I go to my documents on my desktop, here's my holiday image, right? It's squared it off the way that I want to. I'm going to crop it. Now there is my holiday piece. And I could technically schedule this to be posted on the 15th. And there you go, right? You can add, emojis to this if you wanted to, right? Make it your own. But this is how you would schedule posts, especially for the holidays or when you're out of town. And it would look like you're scheduling for the next 2 weeks or however many weeks you want to do it. So that's one way of doing it. And this way is free. Okay. So I'm going to save my draft just so we can come back to it if you guys have any questions. So that's one way that you would schedule your post using a piece that we used on command. And now you see here that we have a draft saved. Now let's go together and let's actually put together a draft for the paid ads. So once you're in your paid ads section, you're going to click on create campaign. And we're going to do social posts, or I'm sorry, a paid ad. It's going to take us to our new section of ads and back where we were earlier. And it's going to show us some couple different options. Give me 1 second, guys. Alrighty, sorry about that. So these three here, or this section here, is going to give you a couple different options when it comes to what type of ad you can run. So the first four are going to be significant because you're going to have the lead form that Facebook's going to provide you so that the person that clicks on your ad can just either fill it out if they want to submit to learn more about whatever it is you're posting. Now, you guys may or may not have clicked on an ad before, but basically if we go here to this ad section and you have where it says learn more or click more, click here to click here, learn more. That is that form that Facebook's going to provide you with to to capture that lead or capture that information. So these four have that Facebook lead generation form. Now the difference here is you have a single image or single video, multi-image, which means you have multiple images from the listing you wanted to use for that one ad, multiple listings. So let's say you're fortunate enough to have a couple listings that you wanted to run an ad about, then you can run multiple listings in a carousel kind of way. And then non-listing, lead form included, single image or video. This would be more of that example that we created for the happy holidays or whatever the post it is that you wanted to come to use from that perspective. And then you have, and all these are Facebook and Instagram. The way that Instagram would work is if your Instagram is connected to your Facebook business page, then it would post on both. Then you have attract sellers or attract buyers. This is using a URL or a landing page of your choice. So you're not going to be provided with the lead form from Facebook. You're going to want to send the individual somewhere specific once you set that up. This one here, I think it's only because I'm an admin that I have the recruit agent one. I'm not sure if you guys would have that option, so I'm going to skip it. You have attract sellers and attract buyers under Google search. This is a subscription. This means that you don't have to have a Facebook or a Gmail account to kind of run an ad on Google search. However, it is a subscription and it starts around $250. So it's a little bit pricier than the other options are. Then you have listing, attract sellers, attract buyers, and non-listings for TikTok. So these three here are Facebook, Instagram, and Google ads for those three categories. And this last one, which is recently added to command ads, is through TikTok. For you to run ads through TikTok. I'm sure you've spent or seen on TikTok where there's videos that are ads. It'll be something like that. So you'd have to be prepared to create a video for that type of ad there. So before we dive into any of these examples, did you guys have any questions on the specific or difference of all these ad types? I did type up here kind of highlighting what's different about these, whether it's what platform they're going to be performing on, if they include a lead form, or if you have to use your own URL or landing page, and then Google search ads. I'm sure you've been on Google before where you're searching or on a website, and in the little right-hand corner, there is an ad of some sort. That's that type of ad. That's a subscription. So it'll be a little bit different than the rest. And then you also have the last four, which are Google Ads, and TikTok. And TikTok does have a landing form included. I'm not sure what that looks like, but it's more of a TikTok type of form where they somehow capture the information. All right, so any questions so far? All right, cool. Let's keep chugging along. All right, so the next section I wanted to cover is we're going to do one for a single listing image, and we're kind of going to work our way through what we would want this to look like. The one thing is, the reason I brought up the ad library from Facebook is for you guys to see some examples of what ads are being currently run in December on Facebook for real estate. This website, along with every website, along with the ChatGPT, are all listed down here for you guys, so that way you have it for your records. So on here, you'll see that you'll be able to look at the current ads that are running in Facebook along with all the pictures and or the formatting that they're using for these ads. You can actually click on see ad details here, and it'll show you specifics about that ad on Facebook. So if you click here, see here, it's as it's disappearing. Let me refresh. So I'm going to refresh this. It may take me back to the home screen, but that's okay. So again, once you're here, right, you can click an ad, you can see ad details. It'll give you a little bit more of the ad as well as the carousel kind of effect here. And it'll actually let you open the ad as well if you wanted to kind of look at that perspective where people are sending their folks when they click on the ads, as well as you can see here the verbiage that they're using and the contact information from there. So now that we've seen those examples, let's go ahead and use here one that says, let's attract that listing. Let's use that one that we used earlier as an example. So I'm going to click here on listing. It's going to be a single photo. I'm not going to get crazy with multiple photos. Here, it'll say where we're going to run the ad. So we're running it on our page that we selected earlier. And then please add your listing. So that means that to run this type of ad, you're going to have a listing. So if you don't have a listing and you want to run something, you'd use a non-listing option. So here, I'm going to try to search by MLS number, see if it's kind to me today. Search by MLS number. Hopefully that one pops up. Let's see here. See, it's searching for my listing, which we know that's not my listing. So that's probably why I'm having trouble. Let's just do postal code and do 33602. Hopefully we'll get some options there. Again, guys, if you guys are using one of your listings, it may be a little bit easier. You can run ads on listings that aren't yours. I'm also not sure that if that listing has gone pending recently. So yeah, it is pending. That's probably why I can't run the ad. It's currently pending. So again, with your scenario, if you're running an ad on a specific property, I can help you find it on here. But let's just go ahead and look through here real quick. We'll just select this one here. It's active and do done. We're not going to actually run the ad, so there's no worries there. Now here, it's going to pull some information for me. Here's the main picture on the MLS from MLS, and I'll show you how you guys can change that as well. So the next section we're going to talk about here is going to be targeting. So the targeting section here. So you can do the listing location or a custom area. So if you're trying to attract more buyers from up north, right, with this beautiful listing in downtown Tampa. If you're trying to attract people from a county that's from 2 counties over, whatever, you know, you can kind of customize it from there. One thing to keep in mind here is the further you go out, the larger your radius, the less your money's gonna go, right? So just keep that in mind. when it comes to how much money you're spending per ad. I would keep this around 25. I feel like maybe a good spend if you're spending like $100 for 5 days or so, depending on how much you want to do. You could do $10 a day, which if you do it for a week, that'd be around, if you do a work week, it's $50. I feel like the 25-mile range is good. Same thing with the custom location. You can do zip code here. So for instance, I'm out in Pasco County, so I could do 33543 and do Wesley Chapel and kind of do a 20-mile radius in that point. That means that my money may go a little further because I'm doing a smaller concentrated area. So that's what I might recommend there. As far as photos here, again, these photos are going to be fed in from the MLS, so you can choose which one you want to be the main one. If we would have chosen carousel, you would have a couple of different photos to choose from. In this case, we just chose the one with the single photo. So again, I think that photo is pretty cool. But again, you can change it. It should update here in a second, and there's the updated photo. But again, let's just leave that one. I think I like the downtown view from there. So that's how the ad is kind of coming together for us, right? So the one thing here too is you have your body text for 255 characters, and then you have your headline, which is just the address right now, and it says beautiful. If you go here, you can add emojis on there. You can also have AI do this for you. So if you wanted the computer to write something for you, you can click on the AI feature here and do custom style. If you want it to be more vibrant or caring or what have you, you can select here. And let's just do caring and see what comes up. So there you go. Come live in this stunning new, and it'll attract that from the MLS home. Let's go ahead and apply and see what that looks like. So now that would be what our ad space looks like there. And there you go. It updated our ad there on the top. And then our headline here, we can do the same thing. We can change the style to caring. Let's see what it does. Apply. And this headline should be down here. Perfect. So there you go. The learn more is right next to it. So now that we've selected this is also where you could use ChatGPT, right? To kind of come up or give you examples for your ad. So you do have to create an account with ChatGPT. But once you use the OpenAI, which is exactly what's connected to Command, you could type in here Facebook seller, real estate ads with emojis, right? And then hit enter, and it'll give you a bunch of different categories of what you wanted to do. So welcome to your dream home. And they have a couple of different things. Again, I have heard from users who have upgraded to the subscription version of ChatGPT that get a lot more examples. But however, the more specific you are with your question, the more specific you'll get from an example perspective. So technically, you could just copy this along with the featured part, right? And paste it in that ad space over here. And again, keeping in mind that you have 255 characters limitation there, and you can use it from that perspective as well. But again, between the ChatGPT examples and the ad library here from Facebook, I think it's a great way for you guys to get motivated to kind of create your ad. Again, the idea here is not to just copy and paste someone else's ad. The idea here is to kind of make these ads your own. So you see what people are doing and they can tweak it. You can tweak it and go from there. So, all right, now we're at the post lead submission section. So here's where you're going to send your folks when it comes to when they click on learn more. So here you can enter in a URL, which means you can enter in your website if you want to. So your website should be the whatever you choose.kw.com. So for instance, my website is ericgonzalez.kw.com. So if I don't have anywhere else that I want to send them, I'm going to send them to my website. The other thing that I could do is search for the listing that we had found and search for that listing here, right? Allow current location. I'm on a private browser, so sometimes that freaks it out. So here is an example. So I would search for that listing that we have, that we use as an example, and then I would click on the specifications of that listing on my site. And this is where I would copy this URL and send them to that specific listing. let's see, does it give me the address of the one that I use? So I use this random 1208 East Kennedy Boulevard. So I would try to find this specific one, but just for the sake of time, I'm going to just say I'm going to copy here, paste my URL, and I can even preview my URL to make sure it's working. So it is sending them to my site there. So that's good. Or if you had a landing page created, Command used to offer landing pages back in the day. So if you had a landing page, you could use it here. If you had them created before the upgrade of the websites, they'll still be listed here. If not, no worries, just send them to your URL to your website. But if you had a landing page that you created in the past, they will be available for you here to use. So for instance, if I have that one, there you go. I can use one from my page, but I recommend just using a URL wherever you want to send them, keeping in mind that it's going to use that lead capture form and capture the leads information anyway. So there's no worries on that piece. And then one cool feature here is the lead settings here. So under the lead settings, you can tag the leads that come in from Facebook. You can tag them in your database so that way you know where they're coming from. So you can create a tag from here. I don't know if I have a Facebook one, I should, but Facebook. So if I want to tag all the leads that come in under Facebook, I'll do that. And then the other thing is I could also add them to a smart plan. So if this is a buyer focused ad, which it is, right? We're trying to get buyers for this specific one. I should probably add them to a buyer follow-up smart plan. That means that once Command gets their information, it'll follow up with them via email, text, and task for me to follow up with them as well. So the system will do a little bit of the lifting there. And then as far as the logo, our ad is there. I would recommend leaving it there unless you put something custom, which means your actual piece that you're using from the ad has our information on there. If not, I would use the default setting here for the ad. All right, so I'm going to hit proceed to last step here. So we've done a couple of things. We've selected our listing. We've selected our targeting. We've selected which image we want to use, or you can use a video. We've chosen our verbiage, where we're going to send the lead once they click on my ad, what's going to happen to the leads in Command once they come in, and then my compliance pieces. So I'm going to proceed to the last step. This is where I'm going to choose how much money I'm spending. So I get to choose from when to when the ad is running. So in this case, we're going to say from the 12th to the 17th. But again, you could do it for 1 day. You could do it for 5 days. The only thing to keep in mind here is when you're running an ad, it's going to take Facebook 24 hours to approve your ad. So keep that in mind when you're scheduling and when you need this done. So if your open house is happening this Saturday, I would probably say run your ad no later than Wednesday, Thursday timeframe to make sure it gets out on time before the open house in the weekend. Again, how much you're spending, you get to choose that amount. So this says that I'm going to spend $8.33 a day from the time that I'm running it. And then this is where you would plug in your credit card, any promotional things you may have, and then you would purchase. So that's how you would run an ad with a single image with a Facebook lead capture form. Okay. The only thing on here, guys, is once you've done all this work, make sure that you're ready to kind of hit the button, because there's no draft. There's no place for you to save the ad, unfortunately, just because it submits everything at night for us as a company as a whole. So just make sure that you don't do this and then say, oh, I'm going to run it tomorrow or whatever, because you may lose your work. All right, now that we've done that, I'm going to go back under dashboard. And now I want to use one of the subscription ones just because it's the most different here of all the other ones. All the other ones feel the same way, except you may have more options for photos or more options for more listings. This one here is the same thing that we just did, except you don't have to have a listing to attach to it. I'm going to say that I want to attract sellers under this section here. And I'm going to attract sellers in my zip code, right? And here is where I'm going to send them to my website. So I'm going to send them to my specific site. I'm not going to highlight a listing. I just want to send them to my site. Plug that in here. And then I'm going to add details. So on the notes that I gave you, there are some URLs here. Some of these will give you the words like Google search ad default keywords. So the keywords you want to use to attract certain sellers or buyers. So this is what you would use in those examples to attract. So that means that if the person is searching for this type of stuff, your ad will pop up to them more relevant. So you can add that there. And then keywords there. You can continue to add more keywords. And then negative keywords is kind of to keep what they're not searching for, then that's not waste of time with those individuals. So again, zip code, where I'm sending them, my details, read through this Facebook, read through this KW article to kind of find out the better keywords you want to use or don't use. And then we're going to go here under proceed to last step. This is where I was telling you guys that the subscriptions are a little bit more aggressive when it comes to the amount because it's for 7 days, but it's through Facebook. So it's a subscription. So you can track when it's going to start. And then these are your spending limits. You would plug in your credit card and then you would hit purchase now. And then your ad again would run on the Google search areas as well. Almost finished here, guys. So that's how that works. Hit okay, no save, right? No save the draft. So make sure you're committed once you do that. Under programs is where you're going to see all your ads that you're currently running. So once you're running ads, they'll all be listed here. So you'll be able to track them from there. Then under assets, you'll be able to see which Facebook pages you may have more than one connected, which is fine. The leads that you've collected from those ads that you've been running, and then your media content. So this is where anything you run that can be used for these ads will be listed here for you to use in these ads. I recommend downloading them as a PNG and uploading them personally, but again, they're available here for you to tweak or whatnot through there. And then of course, support, you can contact support through there. And get any help that you may need. I'm also available. You guys have my contact information for that. Let's see if I left anything out of our outline here. Again, I just kind of highlighted in a bullet point kind of what we covered today. And I think I was able to cover everything and still have 8 minutes left. Let me stop the recording. Thanks for coming to class, guys. Let me stop this and then I'll answer any questions.